Today we are looking at 5 fixtures, and each one represents a different type of football challenge. Some matches are decided by atmosphere. Some are decided by tactical discipline. Some depend on patience. And one depends on professionalism from a clear favorite. The purpose here is not only to predict outcomes, but to understand how the 90 minutes are likely to develop. When you understand the flow of the game, the result often becomes logical rather than surprising. Let's go step by step. Everton vs Manchester United. This is one of those fixtures where form and reputation matter less than environment. Everton at home usually transform into a different type of team compared to their away performances. The intensity increases, challenges become stronger, and the tempo becomes uncomfortable for opponents. They rely less on possession and more on disrupting rhythm. Instead of long passing sequences, the match becomes a series of short battles across the pitch. The objective is clear: prevent the opponent from settling into their natural flow. Manchester United generally prefer structured build-up. They aim to move the ball carefully, progress through phases, and create openings with patience. But matches like this interrupt that rhythm constantly. Throw-ins, second balls, and physical duels break the tempo repeatedly. Because of this, the first part of the match often favors the home side psychologically. Early tackles energize the crowd, and momentum builds even without clear scoring chances. However, sustaining that level of intensity for the full match is difficult. As minutes pass, defensive lines stretch slightly and concentration dips. Technical quality begins to matter more than physical pressure. Manchester United tend to grow into matches rather than dominate immediately. Their chances usually appear in later phases when space is open and the game becomes less compact. Everton may create dangerous moments, especially early, but maintaining defensive focus. Across the entire 90 minutes against a technically stronger opponent is demanding. This looks like a match where both teams will have strong periods. The home side can compete, but the away side should avoid defeat. Prediction: Manchester United win or draw. Correct score: 1-1. ACF Fiorentina vs Pisa SC. This is a match shaped by difference in level but influenced by patience. Fiorentina at home approach games through structured possession. They circulate the ball across the pitch, attempting to move defensive blocks rather than break them instantly. Their matches are rarely chaotic because they rely on positioning and timing. Pisa will likely prioritize defensive compactness. The lines stay close together, spaces are reduced, and the objective is to frustrate for as long as possible. The longer the game remains level, the more pressure transfers onto the favorite. This makes the opening goal extremely important. If Fiorentina score early, the match becomes open. The visiting team must push forward slightly, creating gaps. That scenario favors the stronger side. If the first half stays scoreless, tension rises. The favorite begins to force passes and risks increase. The underdog grows in belief and confidence. Still, sustained pressure usually produces mistakes. Even disciplined defensive structures struggle when forced to defend continuously. Pisa may create moments on transitions, but controlling the match consistently will be difficult. Prediction: Fiorentina win. Correct score: 2-1. Bologna FC 1909 vs Udinese Calcio. This is the most balanced game among the 5. Both sides rely heavily on organization and tactical awareness. They rarely open matches recklessly, preferring to analyze the opponent before committing numbers forward. Bologna at home attempt to dictate tempo, but cautiously. Possession is used not only to attack but also to control risk. They value structure over unpredictability. Udinese away from home are comfortable defending in shape and waiting for counter opportunities. They prefer patience rather than forcing the match. When two cautious teams meet, chances become limited and the match often develops slowly. Momentum shifts in small waves rather than long periods of dominance. These games are frequently decided by small details: a set piece, a defensive error, or a brief lapse in positioning. Neither side is likely to completely control proceedings. Each will have moments, but neither should dominate fully. Prediction: Bologna win or draw. Correct score, 1-1. Deportivo Alavés vs Girona FC. This fixture revolves around discipline and patience. Alavés at home are comfortable without possession. They stay compact and attempt to frustrate opponents. The goal is to force errors and capitalize on transitions. Girona approach matches with structured build-up. They prefer organized progression rather than constant crossing or long passes. Their balance between attack and defensive coverage reduces risk. The first goal will dramatically influence the game's shape. If Alavés score first, the match slows and becomes defensive. If Girona score first, the home side must push forward and spaces appear. Girona's stability while attacking gives them an advantage. They maintain shape even when advancing, limiting counter opportunities. This appears to be a narrow contest rather than an open battle. Prediction: Girona win or draw. Correct score, 0-1. Fenerbahce SK vs Kasimpasa SK. This is the clearest difference in expectation. Fenerbahce at home apply pressure early. The objective is to establish control quickly and prevent the opponent from gaining confidence. Continuous attacking phases push the visiting side deeper. Kasimpasa away from home often struggle against sustained pressure. Long defensive periods lead to fatigue and positional gaps. Once the home side scores, control usually strengthens. The visiting team must push forward slightly, which opens more space. If concentration remains steady, the stronger side should manage the match comfortably. Prediction: Fenerbahce win. Correct score, 3-0. Final thoughts. These 5 fixtures show how different football matches can be. An intense away test. A structured quality gap. A tactical balance. A strategic narrow battle. A dominant home favorite. Understanding match dynamics improves prediction accuracy far more than relying on team names alone. Final selections. Everton vs Manchester United. Manchester United win or draw, 1-1. Fiorentina vs Pisa. Fiorentina win, 2-1. Bologna vs Udinese. Bologna win or draw, 1-1. Alavés vs Girona. Girona win or draw, 0-1. Fenerbahce vs Kasimpasa. Fenerbahce win, 3-0. Always analyze environment, tempo, and mentality before deciding. Good luck!